to me, it's really about balance of risks at this point. The unemployment rate has been climbing and core inflation has been slowing. And we know that inflation is a lagging indicator. So whatever inflation is at the moment, that represents yesterday's monetary policy. So if inflation has already been slowing, I think, just based on inertia, there's probably more room for it to keep moderating. And so I think the Fed needs to kind of get going here. The markets right now seem to be looking at September as sort of a coin flip between 50 and 25. And in my mind, I mean, I think the slowing in the economy and the fact that the inflation situation has broadly been kind of resolved, in my view, I think that will allow the Fed to go, I think, a bit more aggressively than not.
Justin Wolfers at Michigan out with the headline here, Paul. Importantly, nearly all the rise in CPI, as Mr. Dutta mentions, was due to shelter, which is a backward-looking measure. Wolfers of Michigan.
Interesting. So, Neil, how about for the hawks on the Fed? What is the PPI and CPI data? What do you think how they're interpreting it?
I mean, lately it seems like the hawks will just find whatever excuse to kind of justify a tighter policy. I mean, I think what's interesting is, in recent days, just how anchored the hawks have been to the June summary of economic projections. If you recall, that projection had just one cut baked into the year for the year, and I think what's interesting about that is, I mean, Powell basically said that they were talking about cuts as soon as July, and he kind of teed up September. So what's been surprising is just how out of sync the hawks of late look relative to what Powell was saying in July. So, I don't know. I don't really what to make of that. I mean, I do think that the Fed speak is a little bit out of sync here, quite frankly. We'll see what Powell says at I think there's obviously a lot riding on that. But I do think that it's also a sort of admission by omission by just how kind of skittish the doves have been. They have a lot to press their case, guys. I mean, the unemployment rate's been rising, quits have been declining, which means that wages are slowing. So where's the inflation really coming from? So I've been surprised not only from how hawkish the hawks have been, but how little the doves have been speaking.